Hello, Cody Matechuk here, and welcome to my trailer, also known as my second home. Today we're doing a gear review, everything Scott gear that I use on a day-to-day in the mountains. And we're going to start it at the top with the helmet, Scott 550. Now this is like I said, Scott 550 helmet, but what we do is we throw a Scott winter package at it. Your winter package comes with a breath box, which I personally don't use unless it gets really cold. It also comes with a felt liner that lines the inside of your helmet so that the wind doesn't come rushing through, and a foam blocker that blocks this main intake. So keeps the helmet a lot more warm. If you wear this helmet without a winter kit, your ears will get cold because it is a pretty heavily vented helmet. But with the winter kit, no problems. Next up, warmth. Scott makes a range of balaclavas. This is full face balaclava, goes over your head. I'll use this in extreme cold conditions. And then new this year is these Scott neck warmers. Now this type of neck warmer is something I usually wear every day unless it's really, really cold. This is your simple tube style, nice and light neck warmer. I usually pack 2-3 of these, and then because they get wet, if you bring it over your mouth, you're breathing through it, it does get wet. So you pack a few of them and replace them every time you stop. No big deal. Always have a fresh one waiting. Try not to use your reserve. Keep it for emergency. Next up, protection. Now, there's two different. I've been playing with protection as far as chest protection over the last few years a lot, trying to figure out that balance of what I liked. And through the Scott lineup, I've come up with two that I really enjoy using. One is this vest style. So it's an actual nice mesh light vest. It comes with a back protector that goes in here, similar to this piece. What I do when I wear this one is I take the back protector out, and this is my Explore chest protector. So when I'm wearing this one, it's the days that you're wearing your backpack all day long. You're going for Explore. You're going to, cruise through the woods and have a good time with your friends. When it's time to hit the big jumps and go send it, this is when you're checking your avalanche risks. You're in a safe place. You got a jump lined up. Film cameras are rolling. This is the style I bring on film days, where it's a back and a front. You get the whole protection. You don't need the backpack on, and you're ready to go. Now this stuff is D30 technology. It's soft, pliable. Once you wear this, it gets super soft, and on impact it gets hard. I don't know if you can see how ventilated it is. So in the last couple of years, Scott has improved this design and vented it even more. So they're trying to find out basically how much venting you can still have with having the same amount of protection, and they're finding the magic spot. This is light, pliable, and yeah, you don't overheat in it. Moving down the body, more protection. Scott knee pads. This is that same D30 technology. Soft, pliable, very comfortable to wear throughout the day, but on impact it'll get hard. So these are the knee pads that I've been wearing in the backcountry, as well as when I'm riding freestyle moto. For motocross, I tend to move to knee braces, but for long days in the mountains, I've been running these for the last couple of years. They're holding up great, and they offer the protection that I need. Scott D30, basically their whole lineup. Start covering yourself in this and you're going to be happy. Alright, this is a bit of a special snow bike treat, if you will. Insulated shorts. Now through my travels, riding with different groups, you tend to see a lot of ways that people keep their butts warm. Because on a snowmobile you're standing a lot more, but on a snow bike you're sitting a lot, as we all know. Your butt gets cold. I've seen cardboard in the pants, multiple layers of shorts. I have these like padded shorts that are padded on the butt for snowboarding. They work pretty good. But over the last year I started experimenting with these insulated shorts from Scott. Now these are from their Scott Winter Sports line, which is their ski collection. They're Yeah, it's insulated shorts. They're comfy, they keep your butt warm, you don't even notice they're on. If you're looking for something like this, check these out under the Scott Winter Sports side, their ski collection. Insulated shorts. Time to talk about gloves. Now, if you're like me, you like to pack a bunch of gloves in the backcountry. I always pack 1 to 2 sets of riding gloves, a cold set of like a cold weather riding glove, and then an emergency glove that I plan on not using. What we're looking at today, something that I would typically bring, is one of these Scott neoprene pairs. They're it's like a moto style glove with a neoprene back. Your hands aren't going to be warm in these for long, but super comfy to ride with, especially if you've got C3 heated bars. You can run them for a while you're having a good session on a jump or something. Next we have these Scott Race DPs. It's like one step up in warmth. They have a waterproof layer inside. They're slightly insulated. They are short cuffed, so that's something to keep in mind. You might get a little bit of snow on the wrist. They're not super good for cold weather, but it's a step up. You can ride with these for 1 to 2 hours usually before they start getting cold. Then these are ones that I usually find myself in for the majority of the day. It's the Scott Sport GTX. They have a nice thin palm, thin fingers, so it's easy to feel the bars. It doesn't feel like a big mitt, but it has a nice insulation on the back. So these are something that on a normal ride day, you can put this on and run them the whole day. So it depends on your riding preference if you want a set of gloves for the whole day or you like running through a couple thinner pairs. But I usually always have a set of these in. And then we go to the warmer ones. These three are the Kubrick line. So the Kubrick line has a short cuff version and a long cuff version. So if you want to go inside your jacket or outside your jacket. I started running these and then I moved to these long cuffs. If you're running deep PAL lots, this is the way to go. You cinch your jacket tight. The Velcro on your jacket doesn't get all clogged up with snow like it does if you're running short cuffs and you're trying to run your jacket over top. You just simply put it in, cinch that up over top. You got no snow getting in there. So these long cuffs are what I've started to gravitate to. Great to have a set of these for the trail ride out or in colder riding conditions. These are the same gloves, just a different color. As we move down the line, mitts. If you have the room to pack a set of mitts, it is always a good idea. This is not for riding. This is for sitting around a fire. If you make a fire, if you have any kind of emergency situations where you need to wait on a heli, whatever it is, or get stranded, mitts are going to be the one that you're going to want in your ride bag or in your emergency kit. Always a good idea to think about that. Have one extra set of gloves, warm gloves, that you're not planning on using. So finding that balance, knowing what kind of riding conditions you're riding in, checking the weather before you go out, and finding that combination of gloves that's going to suit your riding style the best. Have fun, play with it. Alright, enough of that stuff. Let's get to the goods. We're talking about suits. So let's talk about gear now. Scott's onesies, we're going to start with. Scott makes 4 types of mountain onesies. They have some other types of like touring and trail style warmer stuff. But as far as ones that I would want in the mountains, there's 4 styles. They have the DS Flex. They have the Back X, which is this one. They have the DS Shell, which is this one. We'll get into these 2 later. And then they have the DS1 Dryo, which is a light insulation one. So the first 3, they're all just shells, non-insulated. When I'm talking about onesies, this is usually what I like to use because you can use it in multiple scenarios. You can layer up, use it as a cold weather suit, or still ride it in the spring. So it covers more bases. I find when you get an insulated one, it's just too much for a lot of the conditions you're in. So comparing the Back X to the DS Shell. First things first, both non-insulated, both fit great. They have like I think it's a regular style fit. It's kind of athletic fit. It's nice and narrow around the waist. They feel great. I'll put them on here in a second. What I noticed with this, the back X version versus the DS shell, this one's a little less waterproof. So something to keep in mind. If you're at a lot of wet conditions, this back X might not be for you. It has a little bit less of a waterproof rating. It's a little bit of a cheaper one. Other than that, they both fit great. They both do their job. They have multiple vents all over. Vents on the front and back of this one, so it blows through your side. This thing's got this really cool, let me hang this up. Really cool wide neck on it, which also doubles as a pocket down here. So it gives you a couple options there. More vents on the front and back. I mean, these guys are, they're thinking of it all. They have a nice heavy duty material from the knee down, just to help with all that wear and tear on the bikes and the snowmobiles. So the DS shell has this really cool waist cinch. So if you like a snugger fit in the waist, which kind of makes the top half feel like you have a jacket, it doesn't make the whole suit hang. And then very, very nice adjustable straps. What I like about these straps over some of the other onesies that you see is the buckle is actually down at the base. So you don't have a buckle in the middle of the shoulder. Sometimes, depending on where you tighten or loosen, it's right on your collarbone or shoulder that your backpack sits on, and it can be really annoying. So Scott's moved the adjustability buckles down to the base where they're out of the way, easy to use. And that's the Scott onesies. Now into the two pieces. Alright, first in the two-piece lineup, we have the Scott RCX-1. This is the same suit, or the same model that I've raced in, what was it, 2019, 2020 in the X Games. So this is more, the closest thing that they have to a snowcross suit. So it's lighter, maneuverable, it's got nice, like form-fitted, it's already pre-bent knees kind of style. It's a very racy athletic fit. It's a little bit lighter than some of the other ones as far as the material goes. No hood. It's got a removable insulation in the inside. And note that it's not a full bib. It's just a waist high. For shorter day rides, big cruise, or real athletic riding, this thing is the suit for you. It's really nice to have this in the gear bag. Next up, the Scott DS shell. This comes in multiple colors. What do we got? We've got a black version here, which is kind of a two-tone, gray and black. The pants for this, I'm a big fan of these pants. They got a high bib, so it keeps all the snow out. Even if you get snow kind of coming up your jacket a bit, this bib's going to keep everything out. This is a non-insulated shell, but with having the bib plus the two-piece, it's actually pretty warm. So it's very user-friendly as far as being good in multiple temperatures. You can run this in almost spring-style snow and you're going to be fine. And I've ran it in really, really cold temps with a couple layers underneath. This stuff works great. The fit of it, the jacket's pretty relaxed fit. So I run a medium. I'm 5'8", 160. The pants have a nice kind of form-fitted, like you would think. The jacket's a little bit baggier, which is great for throwing a chest protector underneath or adding extra layers. It's actually really comfy fit. Scott recently has lengthened the arms, lengthened the neck to give you a little bit more cold weather protection in that area. And yeah, they've been killing it with this lineup. And honestly, this is my favorite set to ride in, between the yellow set, the black set. This two-piece collection, the DS shell, is definitely my go-to these days. Moving on, Now, unfortunately, the top to this is at Sosa Original right now, getting some numbers. Kind of like some name, numbers, some logos. That's Sosa Original here in Calgary. So that's where my jacket is, but this is a really cool one and a new one for me. I think they came out with it 2021 for the first time. It's called the Scott Flex. So this material is actually very flexible, very light, but it still has an impressive amount of waterproofness. Now, I haven't tested this one, I haven't run this one in the mountains, but basically by reading the stats and talking to the guys at Scott Sports, it should run the same as the DS Shell, which is this style. So it should be very warm, very waterproof, but it's even lighter, more flexible. So the top to this is actually a pullover style. It's the Scott Flex two-piece jacket. But yeah, it's a pullover style with a big long side zipper. Kind of cool. I've never had a pullover style winter jacket, so stoked to try it. And we'll have to let you guys know after I get some days on it in the mountains. This is definitely the kit I'm most excited to try though this year. And lastly, we have the Scott Move. So this is very similar to the Scott DS Shell, the one that I had showing in the yellow and the black. But the difference is this one has 40 grams of insulation throughout the entire jacket and throughout the pants. So this is going to be good for your cold weather days, or if you ride in cold climate often, then maybe this is what you want to look at. Where I ride, Whistler and Revy, it's usually pretty nice, so I always gravitate to the non-insulated shells. So this is the Move Dry Out from Scott, the DS Shell, we got the Back X onesie, we got the RCX1 kit, another DS Shell, and that other onesie that we had was the DS Shell onesie. A lot of names to remember. Alright, gear's done. Two more things to talk about. We got boots and backpack. So these Scott Snowmobile boots, they're new as of a year or two ago. Last year was my first year running them, and I gotta say I was stoked. Warm toes, nice fit. They have the BOA system, both front and side. So the side operates your lower half, and then the top operates the top half. So you can get a nice tight snug fit. They're very stiff, kind of like a snowboard boot, not as stiff as that, but they're stiff, got nice protection, and keep your feet warm all day. I was stoked to ride these last year, stoked to ride them again, and this is what I ride on my snowmobiles. And the Mac Daddy, the Scott E1 Alp Ride Avalanche backpack. It's an electronic 30-liter Avalanche backpack, one main compartment plus a goggle compartment, and it's got some dividers on this front flap for throwing some extra stuff, like I throw my safety supplies and whatnot in this zipper pouch. Shell fits inside, probe fits inside. I run the shovel handle on the outside, but you can run the shovel handle on the inside as well. Super light. It's lighter than most air canister Avalanche backpacks, maybe all of them, I don't know the stats, but it is the lightest airbag system that I've ever had. And because it's electric, you can fly with it. So if you do any kind of travel, skiing, snowboarding, or travel to go rent sleds and do some crazy adventures, this is an Avalanche backpack you can fly with. So super cool. This will be year 3 running these E1 Alp Ride backpacks, and always stoked on these things. This is Cody Matechuk, full gear review from the Scott Sports gear that I like to run over the past few seasons and going into this 2022 season. Gloves, boots, head to toe, we covered it. See you out on the mountain, and remember, stay warm, stay safe, and prepare for the worst whenever you're out there.